Hello everyone and welcome back to TGC Tours CC Preview. This is Crash Conroe. Welcome back to the channel everyone. Yeah, this is the second week of me doing this now. It's a Sunday, it's a new event on TGC Tours Challenge Circuit, and I'm going to get into this and kind of talk my way through the round and hopefully give some people some kind of tips on how to manage the course. So this week we have the All Classic at Dancing Rabbit at Fuzzy Horse Golf Club. Bit of a mouthful there, but let's get into it. Let's see how round one plays here at this course. Just have a look at the default settings. So default fairways and greens quite firm, and the green speed is relatively fast here. But let's see what the settings are just for round one. So we're off the back tees, pin one of course. Wind speed is medium. Green firmness is firm. I guess they're firm anyway, so that doesn't change too much. And the green speed is fast. I think that's faster than what it normally is, than the default speed. But we'll have a look at the weather report for this tournament real quick. So we've got medium for round one. At some point you'll have some high winds in one of the later rounds. This isn't in order, this stuff, so it's just completely random. And the greens and the fairways will be a bit softer at some point. They will go to moderate, but yeah, it doesn't look like anything too extreme. So let's get into it with round one. So yeah, for these videos, I just play round one. This is in the society, so this is exactly how we'll be playing for everyone else on the challenge circuit and anyone qualifying for TGC Tours. If you do want to get involved, we're getting towards the end of the season now, so you haven't got long. But here we go with hole one. And it's quite a narrow tee shot actually. There's always an option to lay up where it's a bit wider with a 3-wood. Because driver, it can get quite risky with this wind as well. I don't think it will get over those bunkers. It will be close. But I am going to go for it here with a driver. See how we do. Play it slightly into the wind, I think, as well. Oh, and that's not a good swing to start, is it? Bit of a big fast there. But we're going to get away with it. I think the right side of the fairway does kind of lean back to the left. So unless you're way out there, it should come back. So we lost some distance because of that tempo. But now we've got the approach. There's this really strong uphill. So you want to get up there at the very least. The green at the top here is quite flat, actually. So even if you're not right next to the pin, you probably won't have too difficult a putt. This is the biggest area you don't want to miss, because then you'll struggle just to make par. Now my question is, which distance will reach there? I think a 7-iron will, 26 feet up, but I think that should make it. It might not with the slow 98% power. I hit that a bit partial for some reason. Is that going to get up? Oh, it just about gets up. But yeah, there's no harm in playing a little bit more club there just to make sure you get to that top shelf. I was a bit lucky there. It only just made it. But birdie putt for me. And we get it in. You might not have too bad of a putt on the other side of that hill. It's just a little bit uphill is all. But that is hole one. Scores are coming through. I did have a quick look at this course just before, and it seems a bit nicer than last week's, at least in my opinion. So hole two, par 5, nice wide fairway. You can just aim down the middle. Aim down the middle and go for it. And these nice firm fairways here are going to get a bit more distance. But yeah, chance for an eagle here. It is definitely reachable, at least with my clubs. I can hit a 3-iron here. Now, I guess the worst place to miss would be over here, because then you've got a chip out of the rough down that really strong slope. So I'm going to aim to just give myself a putt in the middle somewhere. Again, it's not moving too much here. Like, it's quite flat, the green. So I think I might hit a 3, but I might have to partial it a little bit. I think otherwise it's going to go too far, but I think a 4-iron isn't enough, so it's a little bit between. You could give it big loft instead if you're not comfortable with partials, but I can play a partial, so I'll do that. And it's a slight fast. Should take a big bounce and roll quite a bit, to be honest. Quite downhill. Yep. That's fine. I will absolutely take that. That's a good shot with a 3-iron. And that is what you want. So we're a little bit side on for this eagle putt. 155 speeds. And it's a good putt. Yeah, I think if you just get yourself on the green there, even if you're not that close, I don't think the putt will be too bad. And as long as you can manage the pace of the putt, you're going to 2-putt from there and at least get a birdie. As we move on to the first par 3 at the, what was it, the Fuzzy Horse Golf Club? What a name. Okay, yeah, this is a tricky one here with this wind because you have to slow it down because there's a lot of kind of hills going away and the ball's probably just going to roll on. You don't really want to risk being short though because you don't want to be dealing with this over here. So what I think I'm going to do is hit a 7-iron and aim it a little bit to the left. I think 6 is going to go too far. In fact, I think it's a little bit between. I'm risking not going far enough with a 7, but I'm going to hit it and find out, and we can all find out together. Well, that felt fast, and it was, so that's going to be a bit right on me. And the fast does mean it gets a little bit more distance as well. But I think even without the fast, that was going to be far enough. Might have been a little bit better without the fast there, because that was quite a big fast. So we've got an uphill putt from here. I'm going to put that marker a little bit further back. It's not in too bad of a position. This should be a 2-putt at the very least. Let's start to turn. Is it going to hold its line? No, it's not. Good attempt. But yeah, tough hole that one. I think if you birdie that, you're gaining one on most of the field. Okay, hole 4. Again, it's a nice wide fairway. Most of the rough on the right kind of leans back to the left. If you do kind of miss right, it will hopefully bounce out. I'm just going to aim over there. The wind's going to bring it back. Probably going to catch this hill on the fairway and go more left. Or is it going to stay there? Going to stay there. Okay, I guess this is where you don't want to be. If you, because you're on a slope here. You want to be either to the left of this or to the right. But it depends on how you handle slopes. You know, this isn't terrible. It just means you've got to bring it into consideration for your shot. Unfortunately, I'm between clubs here. Pitching wedge too far, gap wedge not far enough. So I'm, again, going to have to partial this a little bit. And as before, the other option is to just give it a lot of loft if you want to take off the distance. But I prefer doing this. Alright, the partial pitching wedge. Hopefully that sits down. Oh, it's trying to, but it's not quite. A little bit far again. But there's not too much movement on this green from this position. And it's a good read. And a birdie. Yeah, so the greens, they do seem a lot nicer than last week on CC, so far at least. As we go to another par 3. Yeah, this one is probably even tougher because it's just downhill all the way. It really is. Like, look at that. Strong slopes after the pin. So I guess being short is the worst thing you could do here. You don't want to be in the rough because then it's just not going to stop the second shot. It's going to roll all the way down. And once again, I'm kind of between clubs. Like, does gap wedge make that? It's 8 feet down. The wind might help me. It's only slightly pushing forward. So it's a very risky tee shot for me, with my clubs at least. So I think, again, I'm going to partial a pitching wedge. I don't want to risk that gap wedge, because being short is the worst. If I'm long, it's just a 2-shot from there. So we're going to try a pitching wedge with max backspin. There's quite a big slow coming out. That's going to go more left. And look at that bounce. Yeah, all strong uphill slopes from there. It's a very difficult shot to get right. But yeah, from down here, it's not even that difficult a putt. It doesn't break too hard. So at least, you know, at least you're going to get a par from this kind of position. But let's see if we can get a long birdie putt. It should turn back to the left at the hole. And it does, we get it. My frames are struggling a bit on that hole as well. I don't know why. The frame rate seemed to drop there. I don't know. Was that hole doing a lot? It didn't seem like there was too much going on, but yeah, my game didn't like that one. Okay. Yeah, as I said last week, being below the hole is normally better than being above it for those long putts like that. Okay, so another par 5. This is a tricky tee shot. I guess you could try and play short of the bunker, and you might still have a go at this. Actually, to be honest, this one's quite long already, so normally on the long par 5s, where it's probably not reachable anyway, I do kind of go for it off the tee. So I'm going to do that. And it's a pretty good swing. Getting that intentional left pull that I go for, and the fastest going to bring it back round. So we still have about 266 left to this one. And it's very unlikely that you get this down there. Kind of, yeah, this area. There's a lot in your way. If you land it about here, exactly in this spot, it might work out because it might catch these slopes and go left for you. But my 3-wood isn't actually long enough. So if I want to do that, I'm going to hit a driver. But I don't think it's a bad shout to kind of lay up somewhere in the fairway and then play the pitch from there. But I will hit a driver just to see what happens, see if we can get it down there. And it's not a bad swing. Is that going to catch these slopes or is that going to go off to the right? Oh, it's trying to. I think that's just going to land in the fringe. Okay, that's not a bad effort. Not a bad place to be at all. You just got to control the pace of the chips. I've been struggling with this a little bit recently. I've been hitting some of these chips way too hard, but this chip is for eagle. Is that going to come back for me? No, not quite. Yeah, if you don't put any backspin on those lob wedge chips, they do run out a little bit, so you've got to be careful of that. If the green speed is fast, and here it is mostly firm greens and fast greens. Alright, hole 7. You can definitely hit a driver over here if you want. It's downhill, so there's a nice clear gap in the trees. If you're not too confident, I think you might want to bring a 3-wood out. This part of the fairway is quite narrow as well, though. So the option really is just, do you want to deal with the trees or not? Because even with that wind, this drive should get through. And it is downhill, so it travels a little bit further than it looks like. And that's a good tee shot through the trees in the fairway. So we're a little bit closer to the pin because of that. Now this pin isn't nice. Right at the top of a strong slope there. So I'm going to hit a gap wedge. It's 10 miles an hour wind. So this is either going to be dead on or it might be a bit short. But as long as it doesn't come back down this hill, I think it's fine. Again, being long and having a treacherous downhill part, that's what I want to avoid here. Made it a little bit fast, unfortunately. It's good distance, though. Look at that. Okay, it is good distance. Unfortunately, the fast has put me to the right, so this is going to be a bit of a side-on part, yeah. If not for the fast, I think that would have been good distance. Well, I aimed 10 yards past the hole there. Okay, well this is a short putt, but I'm actually going to dial back the marker just a little bit because I do not want to hit this too hard. Playing this is a bit of a lag putt, to be honest. Just going to tap it and let the slopes take it. There you go, it's a good putt. Even at that speed, if that misses the hole, that could roll down there quite a lot. So, yeah, don't be afraid to dial that one back a little bit. But we get away with the birdie. Another par 3. Not too much movement in this one. It's very flat around this pin. Pin 1. Quite long though, 189, so I'm kind of between a 6 and a 5. I think 6 will get up there. It might be short, but I'm thinking the green is pretty flat, so even if it is short, the putt won't be too difficult. That's a slight slow, and that might be heading for that slope that's on the left. And the slow means it's a little bit shorter as well. It's still rolled on though, it's just a little bit too far left. I mean, it's still not much break in the park, really. Yeah, you might want to try and carry a little bit more than I did there. Get it a little bit closer. Well, there's not much break, but it's breaking 3 different ways, so it's quite an awkward little putt to read. Have we got that one right? Yes, we have. Well, we put a lot of power on that one. Yep, all the break there was just at the start of the putt. A 3-way breaker right at the start. That was a little bit odd. Yeah, anywhere on the right side of the pin there, right side of the green, near the pin, I think that putt will be an easy one. As we move to hole 9. What have we got here? Okay, a bit of a dog leg. The trees are blocking this a little bit. Ball drive, I think, is fine. You might want to loft it and play it around the trees a little bit. But yeah, that's got plenty of space to run out. I don't think that's going to reach the rough. But yeah, you don't have to play too close to those trees if you don't want. You at least want to make the corner so that you've got a clear shot at the green. So the wind right now is 7 into me. Look at these slopes. They're all going towards the pin. So hitting it short is probably what you want, and it will roll on a little bit. The only thing is it's a gap wedge, so it might not roll on very much. So I'm going to give it a little bit of de-loft. I don't want to hit a pitching wedge, it's way too far, but I'll give this slightly de-lofted gap wedge shot. Well, that felt really slow to me, but it wasn't. Looks good though, the wind is catching it. Does still take that big bounce forward with the firm greens. Yeah, even if it doesn't roll a lot, it's still going to take that bounce. Still a bit of a breaker there from the side, but it's good. Yeah, that hole, you want to bounce it before the pin, for sure. If you've still got an iron in, I think you can take that on, you know, and because an iron will roll out a little bit more. Just as long as you get down that slope, I think you're good. Alright, hole 10. My shot is level with the bunker. It's a little bit downhill. I think this is going to clear it. But again, there's a safe option just to 3-wood it if you want. The hole's not too long, so if you do that, you will have a shot at the green still. It'll just be a longer iron. But I'm going to take this one on. Well, we're going to find out if it gets over the bunker, aren't we? It does. Just about. So my driver is 303. And yeah, it's not by a long way, but it did get over the bunker. And once again, I'm between clubs. Such a big gap. It's because of these buffs, you know, that skill tree thing. Sometimes this happens with my clubs. So again, I'm having to dial back a pitching wedge a little bit. And this is one where you don't really want to be long. This is where the slopes get quite strong and the ball will roll away. But anywhere short, and it should be a relatively simple putt. And that's a good swing. That's heading left, isn't it? That is heading towards that hill I just pointed out. That might go down there. Does. Yeah, I'm surprised that was that powerful, that shot. Surprised that had that distance on it, but yeah, that's what's going to happen if you go too far. We've got a putt back up the slope. I think we got it again, you know. Wow. Well, the good thing for me so far about putting up these strong slopes is none of them have been breaking too hard. Like, the biggest breaking putts for me have been those short ones, actually. Like, the ones from about 10 feet out. Yeah, with those kind of putts, you just got to make sure you get the power right. I normally add on a foot or two to the marker when it's uphill like that. Especially on these speeds. If the green speeds are slower, sometimes you don't have to, but on the faster speeds, you definitely do. Alright. Hole 11. Fairway's a little bit trickier to hit. It's a kind of side on here. It's diagonal, but I think even if you hit the rough on your side, which mine might do, it's going to bounce into play. Bounces in the fairway anyway. At least if it bounces in the fairway, it carries on a bit. Now this is a tough one for sure, because you've got to get over this hill. And if it bounces here, it's going to take a big bounce forward. So this might be one where you want to put a lot of spin on it. Feel free to loft as well, but just remember that will take distance off the shot as well. So I think sandwich here is okay. Maybe a tiny bit of loft. Just a tiny bit, not a lot. Right, hit a slight partial accidentally. But that should take a big bounce and sit. Yeah. It was just about on the right side of that hill. It was close. It was definitely close. You don't have to be as close as I was there. Feel free to make sure you get over that mound that's on the green. But you don't want to be too far either. You don't want to be in the rough on the other side. Alright, well we're 11 under for 11, so this is going okay. Par 3 again. And again, there's this big slope just before the pin. Just after the pin, there's this one kind of going back. So I think if you hit it anywhere over here, there's a chance that the ball catches these slopes and goes back towards the pin. The thing you don't want to do, absolutely don't want to do, is be over here. Like, be completely over the back. So I'm going to hit an 8 iron because I think the wind will take this a little bit. And I'm just going to go pin seeking here, I think. I'm going to loft it a tad because I don't want it to go too far. Right, slight fast. That's on line note. Should take a big bounce. It might sit there, actually. Is that going to come back? Alright, I've played it close. I did not need the loft. It's only 7 miles an hour. I think I respected the wind a bit too much there. It wasn't that strong. But I just about got away with that, and I just about got away with that putt as well. Okay. Well, this is an exciting part of the course. We've got 2 par 5s in a row. Chance to score, maybe? Alright, first one is along the cliffs. Really nice hole, this one. And it's not an easy tee shot. Look at that. It's a very narrow fairway. It's very reachable, though. It is very reachable. I think even if you're kind of over here, you could probably make it with your second shot. Tailwind as well in round 1. So, what is this? This is about 240 away. So, yeah, I might be inclined to do that, because I can still reach. I don't know. It's a very risky shot, this one, if you do take this on. What's my 3 iron again? My 3 iron's 214. Oh, okay. Maybe not then. For me, at least. Alright, that's a pretty good swing anyway. But yeah, if you aim for kind of just before those bunkers, you could still make it, for sure. It'll be a long iron, or a hybrid, or a 3-wood even. But if you don't want to take this fairway on, feel free to do that. Okay, 7 iron. Will that get pushed forward enough? This green is pretty flat, isn't it, really? Not much going on. You don't want to lose it down there, I guess. So I might aim a little bit more left, just to make sure that doesn't happen. It's uphill all the way. I feel like a 7's not quite going to get there, and a 6 is too long, so I'm going to split the difference. I'm going to play a bit of a lofted 6. Alright, good swing. Lofted 6 is taking a lot of carry off it. And it's still going to roll out for me. There you go. I don't play the lofted shots too much as opposed to partials, but that one, definitely worth it. Takes out some of the roll on the ball as well. So yeah, I went for that narrow fairway with the driver and it worked out. But the green's not too difficult, which makes me think, again, if you do want to dial back the tee shot, as long as you're in the fairway, I think you can go for that second one. So here's the second of the par 5s. This one is a bit longer. And it's a similar kind of tee shot where it narrows out where the driver goes. But again, I'm going to drive this one. Oh, that's a bit slow. That might be in the bunker. Yeah, I'm not going to get away with that one. I think this one's a little bit longer, so if you do want to go for it, you will have to be in the fairway. Like this is a driver off the deck second shot. Even if you're in the fairway. And all you have to do with that driver off the deck shot is try and aim at the middle of the this little funnel to the green. It's very flat though. Look at that. It's very flat around the pin. So if you can just drive it down there and get it somewhere close, you might be on for an eagle. But yeah, I'm going to play a lob wedge here in D-loft. Light slow's not going to matter. Wow, I did not expect that to go past the hole. I thought that was going to be short. But yeah, the green is very flat. Little bit of break in mine, actually. Is it going to hold on? Just about. Almost gave that putt a bit too much respect with the power, but it does go in. But yeah, good couple of par 5s there. I think you can aim to be, you know, at least 2 under through those two. There is a risk of OB, of course, on the first one with the water hazard. So, hole 15. Well, the wind is with me, so you could definitely kind of, you know, just go for it and smack it and get as close as you can, but you do risk being in the bunker or the rough. So, I might actually dial this one back with a 3-wood. Dial it back, just make sure I'm in the fairway, and this should be like a full lob wedge shot. Yeah, it's up to you whether you go for that or not. It probably won't reach the green. I will say that much. But you give yourself less distance to worry about, so if you want it, be my guest. So I got a sand wedge shot here. And I think I'm going to try that loft again. A bit of loft and a bit of backspin. Worked out last time. And it's going to work out this time. There you go. There you go. So yeah, for a 3-wood off the tee there will give you a full kind of lob wedge or sand wedge shot, which I quite like. I'd rather that than be closer but in the rough or the bunker. And there are a lot of slopes around there as well. So that would be tough to contend with. So hole 16. Is this uphill? Okay, the tee shot is kind of uphill. I've got enough distance here that I can clear this, I think. The other option, of course, is to go here. No harm in doing this. You will have a shot at the green, but same as before, it's just a longer iron. That's a bit harder to control. But we'll see if mine makes it. It's quite close, but it did make it. We hit a 101, slight fast, and that's a 303 driver. So yeah, just use your judgment there on how much distance your own driver gets. But thanks to that, I've only got a wedge. I am once again completely between clubs. I want to stay away from this bit and this bit. So there's this little bit going straight across the green that wouldn't be too bad to land this ball in. I think it's a pitching wedge for sure. I think I'm going to give it quite a bit of loft and backspin again. I'm on an uphill slope as well, so that should kill the ball a little bit. Quite fast. Didn't really aim far enough to the left there. I mean, the fast didn't help me. But I'm in that little channel on the green, so there might not be much movement in this again. Yeah, there's not too much. So it's not too bad of a place to leave it. Gonna brake left a little bit in the middle, and then brake left again towards the end. Right, should brake left a little bit, and then brake left again. Oh, just about. Just about. Well, my putter's on fire for this round, I can't lie. But there you go. I mean, I'm missing in the good places. I'm not leaving myself really difficult, long side-on putts. So that's a good first step with course management. Oh, now here's an interesting one. Okay, par 3, 43 feet down, 230 yards, but the wind is into me slightly. But there's a lot of these slopes are quite strong, and they're going right to where the hole is. So if you can catch these slopes on the front, the ball is probably going to go over there. But you've got to aim it left enough, you know, because you're too far right, it's going to catch these slopes instead, and you're going to be over there. And that will be a difficult putt. But with this wind, I think 3-iron makes it. I'm going to de-loft it a little bit. But I think this catches the green, so let's see. 3-wood is kind of the safer option, but it's very hard to control that. Like, you'll probably be off the back, so I'm going to 3-iron this. Hybrid is another option, of course, if you have that. That felt very slow. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get away with that. Well, there you go. Don't do that. Well, this is where you don't want to be. So I'm in the rough and I'm hitting it down some quite strong slopes here. So I might have to just do my best. I'm on an uphill slope, so that's good. That's going to take out some of the roll. So I'm going to try and flop it. And I don't really want to land it on those slopes either, so I'm going to try and just clear those. Just scrambling for par now. Oh, I do catch them. It does slow down though. Just needs to sit. Okay. Yeah, if I was on a downhill slope in that rough, that would have been much tougher. So it's probably a good thing I missed by as much as I did. Yeah, unfortunate. But you saw how far that ball went, even though I hit it slow. So, yeah, you can definitely reach the green there. Just let the slopes take it towards the pin. So, final hole at Fuzzy Horse. Very dark, isn't it, with these shadows? But I think this is just a full driver. Full driver off the tee. Wind is going to make sure it doesn't reach that back bit of the fairway. So yeah, I think for round 3, you're off different tees, slightly shorter tees. Every other round you're off the back tee. So that might be more scoreable, or that might be when they bring the tougher conditions in, because they like doing that as well. It's either or. Okay, so hole 18, quite similar to 17, where there's this big slope going towards the pin. So you just don't want to be too short. And it does kind of roll nicely back towards the pin if you miss right as well, as long as you don't miss right too much. Having said that, for me, it's uphill, tailwind, so I think I'm going to have to play a 9. I don't think pitching wedge is quite going to get there. I'm going to try and kind of dart this one at the pin. Oh, that one was too fast. Oh, dear. Well, that's not going to come back. That's going to stay out there. Oh, a bit of a shame. I've lost my swing right at the end of this round in this last 2 holes. It's been a really good round until then. Yeah, even if I missed on the green on the right side, it would have come back towards the pin a little bit. But yeah, that's just too far right. I've got to be a little bit careful with these slopes. It's not too strong, but yeah, I'm not gonna give this chip too much carry. Here it's gonna release. Almost gets it. Just not quite enough break back. But that's gonna be a par on the last. Well, 2 pars to finish when we were pretty much birdieing or eagling every other hole. Bit of a disappointing finish for me at least, but that's fine. But that is Fuzzy Horse Golf Club, full classic at Dancing Rabbit. That's round 1 at least. So if you are on the CC course, I hope you found some decent tips there on where to play the ball and what places to avoid. Yeah, there are some greens where you can definitely let the ball catch some slopes and roll on, but yeah. Again, just kind of missing below the hole. isn't the end of the world. It's when you're playing on the wrong side of those slopes, it might get tough. So yeah, but have fun out there. Keep learning course management and stuff, and good luck in your full classic at Dancing Rabbit at Fuzzy Horse Golf Club. It's the longest name ever. But yeah, if you did like this video, remember to drop a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. And I might have to miss next week because I'm a bit busy next weekend, but we'll see. You might see me do a CC preview again. We'll wait and see for that. But thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.